If you're considering relocating from another country to the United States of America, then you definitely want to see this video, because in this video I'll be sharing the differences versus the similarities of living in another country, specifically Mexico, versus living in the United States of America right after this. Hi, I'm Delrisa Rollerson, your Global Real Estate Connection. On this channel, you'll learn what it's like to live, work, play, and invest in the Augusta, Georgia area. In today's video, I'm coming to you from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and I'm going to share with you what it's like to relocate from Cabo or Mexico or any other part of the country and relocate to the United States. So I'll be showing you different aspects of living throughout other places of the world in comparison to living in the United States. So if you need assistance, whether you're in the United States of America or if you're in any other country, feel free to give us a call. My associates and I can assist you. I have associates that are worldwide that can assist you with your real estate needs. So feel free to give us a call at the number here. You can send me a text. You can also look in the comments below and you'll have my email, or feel free to schedule a Zoom and I'll be happy to assist you. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you are in the United States, whether you're in Turkey, whether you're in Hawaii, whether you're in Mexico, whether you're in Canada, we can assist you. My associates and I can assist you. So now we're going to go to the video to show you the differences and the similarities of living in Augusta, Georgia, the United States, versus living in Cabo San Lucas and versus living in different parts of the country. Now I want to share with you some things that to look out for and some things that you will find to be very similar living in other parts of the country. For those who live near a body of water, near the ocean, they have the opportunity to fish on a regular basis, also enjoy water sports, water activities, and just see God's scenery here, which is so beautiful. Having fresh fish on a regular basis definitely is something that we enjoyed while we were here in Cabo San Lucas. So for those moving from an area such as this, moving to an area where there's not a lot of water, I can definitely see how there would be an adjustment getting used to not having fresh fish on a regular basis. Here we caught mahi, which was delicious. Oh my goodness, here we had an unexpected surprise. A sea lion jumped on the back of the stern for fish. So now we're gonna go riding on the ATVs. Let's check it out. First time for us. Excited. I think it's gonna be really nice. Hey, subscribe to the channel. And if you've ever moved from one part of the country to another or one part of the world to another, comment below and let us know some of the things that you've experienced in doing so. So we've been on the ATVs and we're now at, I think, the halfway point, our resting spot, which is at the beach. It's so beautiful here. We've gone through a lot of terrain. I couldn't film, of course, because I needed to focus on staying on that ATV. Oh my goodness, look at those waves. So there is a hurricane in Mexico, and what they say, Puerto Vallarta? So category 4, which is what looks like we're seeing the effects of that with the waves. Oh yeah, this I think this will pull you under. This will pull you under, definitely. So we're back. We went on the Sunset ATV. It was really, really nice experience. So that is something when you compare Mexico, at least Mexico to Georgia. We do have ATVs in Georgia, although I've never ridden an ATV in Georgia, but riding here through the desert onto the beach was quite an experience. We did a sunset ATV ride through the desert onto the beach. Was really nice. The only part I didn't really care for is coming back at night because you can't see as well, and the night creatures were starting to come. Well, they're out. It's literally, look, it's dark. So this is how it looks how it looked coming back. So it's really dark outside. We did have the lights from the ATV, but that was nice. But that's something that is done in other countries and also in the United States. Certain parts of the United States you can do ATVs. It's very beautiful here because it's through the sand, through the desert, and then when you get to the beach, it's so pretty. Although, as you saw, we weren't able to even put our feet in the water because there's a hurricane in Puerto Vallarta. So that's not too far. Well, it's far from here, but it did affect the water. So anyway, that's one thing that we did here. So that's a difference in similarity in the United States and in Mexico. You got ATV. So if you haven't done it, check it out. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Right now we're here in Mexico. We're in La Iglesia at church, and it's a Sunday morning, and we're gonna have a great time. Come fellowship with us. Personally, I found the service in Mexico to be very similar to what I'm accustomed to in the United States. We started with prayer. Immediately after prayer, we had worship service, as you can see here. The entire congregation participated. It was very enjoyable. And immediately afterwards was the word spoken by the pastor. So we had the service today. It was really enjoyable. It was really nice. Very, very charismatic. It was all in Spanish, and so we were able to understand a little bit. Hablo español un poquito, no mucho, so I was able to understand some of it because I do speak Spanish a little bit, but not much. But I was able to understand basically the message for today, which was living in your purpose, in your God-given, your divine purpose, and also being, sometimes it's uncomfortable to live in your purpose, is what the pastor spoke about today. It was really, really good. We really, really enjoyed it. The praise and worship was wonderful, and then also the message was very enjoyable as well. And then afterwards, we had an opportunity to eat authentic Mexican food where the locals eat. As we entered the section where the restaurant was, it was really different from what we're accustomed to. It actually looked like a courtyard because it was an open air restaurant. Right here, you'll see the kitchen area where they were cooking right there. We're outside. It's covered with like a tarp over the kitchen area, so that was quite different from what we're accustomed to seeing here. Today I'm in Cabo San Lucas with a friend of mine, and I wanted to just talk to her in regards to moving from Mexico or different parts of the world to the United States. She's experienced moving from one country to another and living in one country and then also back here to Mexico. So I want to introduce you to Martina.
Hi.
Mi amiga Martina.
How are you? ¿Cómo están?
Muy bien, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
De nada, de nada. So tell us, what has your experience been like moving from Mexico to the United States? What were some things that you experienced that were different?
So, we used to live 40 years in California, so right here in Cabo San Lucas, 10 years. It's a huge change. The food, the culture, the work, everything is more different. So, my experiences, I'm more happy here now.
Okay.
Because we don't have no more children, so I'm retired from the US. So right here is a paradise to live.
Okay.
And then there's always that you can make a photo to live here.
Yeah.
So because when you have a experience for another country, well, people's more than welcome. If you want to still work here, he can do it.
Right.
If not, he can retire happy, retire,
Right.
and stay on the beach.
Yeah. So how was that? You mentioned that. So the climate, was there a big difference? Probably not from coming from here to California though.
Not really, because Cabos is very similar
Yeah.
to US. There's a lot of stuff that you can find it here.
Yeah.
So, like the stores, we have a lot of stuff for you. So, Cabo San Lucas is very, I heard to say that, but very Americanized because I have
Okay.
everything here. But you can find the Mexican culture here, the food, and the
Yeah.
people is really nice. So, it's like big experience though.
So I guess it really depends upon what part of the world you go to, because some parts do not have the Mexican culture, but depending upon where you're coming from, you know, you don't have the cultured food there, authentic meals there.
Wow, no.
Yeah, because some places, say if you go to Washington D.C., you may not have the culture that you have that's
Well,
closer
actually,
to.
in United States, especially California and Arizona and Washington, have a lot of Mexican culture there. So
Yeah.
it's like it don't makes the difference, but the food is better here.
The food is, yeah, the food
And
is
Mexico is authentic Mexican food. Either with Mexican people made it over there, so eating in Mexico is the best, more relaxing,
Yeah.
more time for you. So the times go very slow here.
right,
Like
right.
it's right when you invite people to do something, you have to say Mexican minutes because our Mexican minutes is
Okay.
very long.
Okay.
So the life is very relaxing here in Mexico. So it's way different, way different.
Well, tell us about the housing.
The housing. There's many places in Mexico that you can find very good prices in the houses, like Puerto Vallarta, so Guadalajara. But right now, the place to be more safe is here in Cabos.
Okay.
Baja California is very safe for people that live here.
Okay.
So it's not a lot of crime.
Okay.
And so it's hard to say that, but some places in Mexico is not good places to live too.
Well, same as United States.
Well, but United States is more like protected for the police department and things like that.
Right.
Places here in Mexico is not like that good. They have to be in the United States.
Right,
It's
right.
a little different, but you have to check for the places that they have safe and no crime. So it's crime all over, but it's a place that is less.
Yeah.
Baja California is very safe for everybody.
Okay. So how about renting versus purchasing homes? So what do you find to be
I
most
think
common?
fortune homes because rent is so expensive every day, especially because we have so many people that come all over in the world. Though, if you buy your house here, so it's not go up the prices every year. For
Right.
example, when I got here, you can rent apartments for $200-300 a month. So now people start coming and renting more, so the prices go so high.
Okay.
If you buy
okay.
property here, so you're getting a lot of profits, and then you can use, if you don't gonna stay here the whole year around, you can use it like a business too.
Right. So that would actually be an adjustment for someone that lives here if they're moving to the United States, if they're accustomed to owning their home here, because in the United States a lot of the
Or
places
stay
are for
part-time
rent.
there,
Yeah.
part-time here,
You can do
and then
that.
the time that you're not here, so you can make the money in that property.
Right.
And it
Right.
was the money that you make,
Right.
so you can pay your house.
Absolutely.
It's just like a round business.
Absolutely. And we have
Yeah.
that in the United States, the Airbnbs.
Mhm.
Yeah, we do that as well in the United States.
But I think if you do it in a tourist place, it's more profits, though,
Right,
because you
absolutely.
make 3 or 4 times more than you make in the United States.
Absolutely.
Taxes is less here in Mexico.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, it's time for the food.
Oh, look at this is crickets. So in the
Crickets.
culture from Oaxaca, people eat this kind of protein though. It's grow up the cricket and organic things.
So it's
So
really
it's like you eating meat.
Oh, no gracias. No
So
gracias.
you can have the experience. You're in Mexico.
No gracias.
I'll experience it. I
We'll
don't
eat
mind
it.
tasting it. Let me have one of them, Martina.
No quiero cricket.
It's so good, the cricket. No, I never eat crickets either. Though.
You don't
never
eat
tried
them?
it? You didn't try
No,
it?
she doesn't eat
You're
them.
not gonna try it?
No.
If I try it?
No, she
You try
said
it.
no.
Ah,
She's not gonna
okay,
eat it.
come on now.
So we ended up not trying the crickets, but what we did taste is the authentic guacamole that was made right at the table. It was prepared right here at the table. It was delicious. One of the things that's really different is the food
And the water.
and the water, right?
Totally different. The water is different all over in Mexico, though. Here
Right.
in Cabos, it's more like the water comes from a different country.
Right.
Because we don't have like a lot of rivers or a lot of. I have to use those machines that clean the water.
The
so we
water
can use it.
filtering machine.
Yeah, like this salting waters.
Yes.
Machines right here.
Yes.
We have a lot of water in the ocean, but for drinking, not even for brushing your teeth.
So right, so no
Yeah.
water that comes out of the faucet can be
If you
used.
come to Cabo, you have to use all the time bottled waters.
Right.
Brush your teeth with bottled water.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been brushing our teeth with bottled water.
Because we should not used to have this water, so you can get a little sick.
Yeah, very sick.
Very sick.
So that's one of the things. The water here, we cannot use the water that comes out of the faucet. We cannot drink it. We cannot brush our teeth with it. And we've been using the bottled water to, like she's saying, brush our teeth in.
Yeah, either for cook, you have to use the bottled waters. To wash dishes, to
Right,
wash
bottled water.
clothes, take a shower.
Right.
But not for drinking, not for cooking.
Right. That's a big adjustment coming from the United States.
Totally, we have those kind of big water things
Uh-huh.
because with the water in the house come only one time in the week.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and then you
wow.
have to fill everything, and then the next week or the next 2 weeks we're gonna start getting water again.
Oh, wow. Wow.
It's a big problem with the water.
Okay. Thank you so much, Martina.
Oh, you're welcome, and welcome to Los Cabos. So I have a
Gracias.
really good food here too, and
Sí.
good living.
Sí, gracias.
De nada. Hasta luego.
If you're moving from Cabo San Lucas to the United States, one of the good adjustments that you're probably going to have is the water. Because here in Cabo, we're not able to use the water that comes out of the faucet. We cannot drink the water, cannot even brush our teeth with the water here in Cabo. But in the United States, you are able to use the water that comes out of the faucet. You can brush your teeth in it, you can drink it, you can bathe in it. So that's an adjustment that will be good for those that are moving from certain areas of the world where they're not able to use their water. So in the United States, we are able, for the most part, we are able to use our water that comes out of the faucet. The weather is going to be very different depending upon where you move in the United States. So different parts of the United States, depending upon your region, some areas is cold, some areas is extremely cold. We have 4 seasons: summer, winter, spring, and fall. In the Augusta area, we have 4 seasons, but in the winter, it's not really that cold. Depending upon where you move to in the United States will determine what the weather is going to be like. So we have associates, I have associates literally all over the United States, all over the world, that can assist you in moving and relocating. Also, the shopping experience. So as you saw here, a lot of the shops are here in the market, on the streets, whereas in the United States, we have shopping centers, we have shopping malls. So there are not as many markets as you see in different parts of the world. Also, another thing to experience is maybe an adjustment in the culture, because the culture where you're moving to in the United States will probably be a lot different than what you're accustomed to in the country that you're moving from. So more than likely, you probably will be a minority in the area that you're moving in, whereas the area that you're moving from, you may not have been a minority. So that may be an adjustment, but that's something just to be mentally prepared to have to deal with when you move to the United States. A difference in the culture. Another difference is the housing. So depending upon where you move in the United States is going to determine the type of homes that you get. So in some areas, you'll have single family homes. We have condominiums, we have townhomes, so we have homes that are attached to one another. We also have homes that are detached to one another. You will pay rent in some cases, which means monthly you pay a set amount to live in a housing place, and or you can pay a mortgage, whereas a mortgage is what you have when you are in the process of purchasing a home, or you can just outright buy the house for cash and just pay it, and you won't have a monthly expense as far as the housing is concerned, but you will have the utilities. As a realtor, one of the things that I do with people who are moving from different parts of the country and different parts of the world is really serve as their host and serve as their friend, in addition to being their realtor, because a lot of people who move here to the Augusta, Georgia area, they really don't know anyone except me because they met me on YouTube. So what I try to do is I try to do the same thing that Martina and Jimmy did for us here. And Susanna, they basically took us around, they showed us the area, and they were very, very friendly to us. So I do the same thing to people when they come to the Augusta, Georgia area. So if you're coming to the Augusta, Georgia area, you want information on the area, you would like to know about housing, you would like to know about the job market, you want to know about the weather, feel free to give me a call. I will be more than happy to partner with you, and I'll serve as your friend and realtor in Augusta, Georgia.